Welcome to the Do Zone, where entrepreneurs go to get things done. I'm your host, Josh Thomas. You can find me on social media at JT Literally. Each week, I bring on guest experts from a variety of backgrounds to share their secrets on how to optimize performance so you can take massive action and crush your goals. If you want to build a slingshot that brings in quick cash and sales for your business in as little as the next 7 days, I'm going to give you a simple framework that has worked for me and my clients time and time again, no cost to you. Go to factor1.io now, enter your email address for immediate access. Once again, that's factor1.io. Today's guest is Rocky Lalvani. Rocky is the profit answer man. He teaches people how to ensure they get paid and make profit a priority. Rocky, welcome to the Do Zone. Tell us something you believe is the key to getting stuff done that most people wouldn't think of.
I don't know what most people wouldn't think of, but I know most people just don't do it. Take action, like take the first step, right? You can't steer a ship in port. You actually got to get out in the water and get moving before anything happens. So I think that's the biggest thing that we see. People just don't take that first step and keep going. I'm guilty, by the way.
Yeah, guilty. Yeah, it's like do what I say, not what I do, man. Yeah,
Start,
and go ahead.
yeah, just do it first thing in the morning. And then the rest of the day is downhill. It's easy, right?
That's right. And so, for those of you who are just listening on audio, Rocky and I are like book bros because I'm looking on his bookshelf behind me and I recognize at least half of the books at a first glance. One of them is standing out, and I think it would be a great topic for us to discuss. Is Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. Actually interviewed Mike Michalowicz on another podcast 100 years ago. Fascinating guy, but talk to us a little bit about why is that so fundamental to our success as an entrepreneur, Rocky?
So going back to just doing it, right? Everyone says they're going to be profitable. Do you actually take your profit? Like, is that a habit or is that like, oh, I'll take profit sometime in the future? And that's really the key. And that we actually talk about that. One of the biggest things to implement profit first is opening up bank accounts. And Mike always asks people when they come hear him and all of that, did you open the accounts? And the answer is always, no, I didn't get to it. I'll do it tomorrow, right? Right into the theme. Just open the bank account, take your profit, put it in a separate bank account, and now you're profitable. Learn to live on what's left instead of overspending all the time.
Yeah. And what are some of the things that as we get a little bit more tactical, so yeah, kind of following the process, different bank accounts for different expenses and paying yourself first. But what have you found is more of a tactical approach that people can take? Like, take us through your process.
For profit first?
We'll use you're the profit answer man. I
Yes.
got
Yeah.
profit questions.
So,
What
no,
are the biggest profit questions that we have, and what are the answers?
the biggest. So, honestly, I think the first thing is people just don't have awareness of where their money's going,
Hmm.
right? They may not even be looking at it. So, that's number one problem is where is your money going and are you aware of it? Two, most business owners don't look at their accounting system. They look at their bank balance. So they stare at their phone or wherever. Do I have money? Yes, no. And some of them do it multiple times a day, right? And that kind of becomes their impetuous to taking action. If there's money, what do? They spend it. If there's no money, they go out and sell or they try and collect. And so you've got these habits that are just there naturally. And that's why Mike invented this system is because it's designed for business owners who behave like that. You don't have to open up accounting software. You don't have to do any of that. You can just look at your bank balance and go, hey, I'm profitable. I got profit. I got money to pay my bills, or I need to go out and sell. And it makes it crystal clear in real time because nobody keeps their books up to date when you're a small business.
Yeah, guilty. Do what I do. Do what I say, not what I do. I had a situation some point in the recent past where I had a surprise. Not it wasn't really a surprise, but kind of a surprise tax bill that was very high, and it forced me to really kind of getting myself organized, because the reason that tax bill was so high was because I didn't know how much it was before it came in. The reason I didn't know how much it was before I came in is because I wasn't tracking anything. And now I have decided, because it was very painful, I'm not going to put myself in that position again. And we go and we track every single dollar, and it's a pain in the butt, man. But it's worth every ounce of effort to not have to be in that painful position again.
So let me tell you a success story.
Do
Um,
it.
Gentleman had a business. His business did really well this year, that particular year. And so he was making his tax payments based on what his tax person told him, but it was based on last year's revenue, not his much greater revenue. So his accountant didn't want to call him. Finally, the accountant calls him and says, "Hey, I've been dreading talking to you." He's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "You owe a ton of money in taxes. So you got that phone call too, I guess, or you figured it out." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. Business has been great. I did really well." He's like, "How much do I owe?" And she's like, "Almost six figures." I don't know if yours was that painful. He goes, "Oh, all right. I'll drop off checks tomorrow." She's like, "What?" Right? Because he had the money set aside in his tax account. It was there. And he told me, he goes, there was actually more money in the tax account than what she needed. And so I got bonus money at tax time because I could take the extra and go enjoy life. That is what Profit First does for people. It makes sure you get paid first instead of last. It makes sure there's profit, and it makes tax time tolerable, right? Because whatever the tax bill is, you just stroke a check. I hate stroking the check, but it's just so much nicer when you can do it.
Yeah, well said. And so tell us a little bit about, what it is that you do and who you help and who you serve.
Well, so there's two parts. There's Profit First, which is what we call the beginning starter for most business owners. This is something you can do yourself. You can read the book. We teach all about it when it on the podcast. And that's just the beginning. Give every dollar a job, separate it and send it to do its job, and keep your spending in line. What we do is we help people set it up, but that's like the first step. And then we do 100 more. We help business owners understand the math of their business. Now, most people hate math. I get it. You went into business to do what you love, but someone needs to understand the math of your business. A lot of people think their CPA or their bookkeeper understands the math of their business. That's not true. Most of them are really good at putting numbers on forms, not about advising you on how to make your business more profitable. So what we do is we look at a business and we start at the beginning. We look at what does their lead flow look like or interest in their business? How does that convert? What do their conversion rates look like? What's your average sale? How often do you get people to buy? All of that creates the idea of how much you can generate revenue. And we can work backwards and forwards through that to say, if you want $1 million in revenue and this is these numbers, this is what you need to go do. And in order to do that, we need to spend X on marketing. The second thing we do is once you generate revenue, where's all your money going? So for most businesses, they've got cost of goods. You might have employees. You've got overhead. We look at all of that and your marketing because marketing needs to be effective in how you spend it. That comes out to what your profit is in your business. So that's what your P&L would show you. And but the reality is that's not really what the business owner gets in cash. People go, wait a minute, my P&L says I'm profitable, but there's no cash in the bank. That's because all the cash disappears on the balance sheet. And so then we go look at the balance sheet and we go, how much did you pay back in loans? How much did you take in draws? What's your accounts receivable, accounts payable? What's your inventory look like? Again, for each of these things, I've talked for maybe 90 seconds. We could spend hours on intricates between each and every one of those small little details behind there. The better you understand your business, the easier it is to do. We believe you should work less and make more. I don't want you to grind it out.
Yeah. Awesome. And then that makes a lot of sense. And it's one of those things that we don't like to do. And it seems like manual labor. We didn't get into business to be mathematicians, but it's necessary work. And so you help with that. Tell us a little bit about how who's a good fit for you and how they can reach out and connect with you.
So we have programs for every size of business owner. For the smaller business owners, we've got a course, and the course also includes a ton of support. So that's good for the smaller side. Once you get up into the seven-figure revenue, it's more done for you, and we work directly with you, and we take care of all your needs from there on out. And we really help to make sure that your business serves you, because at the end of the day, you're not supposed to be a slave to the business. You went into business to have money and freedom. If it's not doing that for you, then it's time to do something different, and that's what we help you do. Have time and have money to enjoy it.
Excellent. Well said. Well, hey, we're going to wrap up from here. And thanks very much to our guest, Rocky Lalvani, for coming on and sharing some wisdom about how we can make sure we profit first. For those of you who are interested in connecting directly with him, you can go to profitcomesfirst.com. Is that the right one?
That is.
Profitcomesfirst.com to find the profit answer man. For those of you who are on your morning commute, you're out in the field or in the gym somewhere, snap a selfie, tag me at JT Literally. Show me what you do in the do zone. One more time, if you need a quick injection of cash in your business so that you can put it in the right bank account and get some momentum, go to factor1.io. Let's talk about building your slingshot. Know this, you are Factor One for your own success. Now let's get to work.